Good afternoon, everybody, and I would like to thank the organizer, The Economist, for inviting me to be part of this distinguished conference. I attended over the last 2 days, and I can say it was one of the best conferences I have attended in a very long time. So thank you very much once again. It's an honor for me to be here. So I'm sure that you're all familiar with who we are, but just in a nutshell, we are an impact investor, development bank operating in 38 countries. We started to operate in a different Greece in 2015 on a temporary mandate in the middle of the financial crisis. Initially, we supported the bailing of the 4 systemic banks, but since then changed a lot. And we are very proud to say that during this period, we invested 7 billion in the Greek economy in over 100 projects. We can say probably that we are the biggest investor through the crisis in the private sector. And I'd like to outline this because it's important to John's point. For us in Greece, the mandate has been really focusing on supporting private sector. So 100% of our portfolio is private. And another pillar of our strategy here is to try to mobilize investors, even during the crisis, to try to bring them to the country, and also to provide comfort to their investments in the country. So we heard a lot of praise for Greece during the previous panels, during the last 3 days, and we fully agree with this. It's an amazing transformational story. We wouldn't believe in 2015 when we opened our office in Athens on a temporary basis that in 8 years we are going to invest 7 billion. And things accelerated actually since 2019 when we've seen an increase in reform, and also has been accompanied about the increase in our investment in the country, and also about the change in the structure of investor in the country. Initially, we focused a lot on short-term trade, banking sector. Since 2019, we started to see privatizations like PPC that we supported, other investments that we've done on the capital markets, in the infrastructure. So the structure of the investor changed significantly. Now, going forward, there is a positive momentum, but we have to maintain this momentum. And what we need to do, what Greece needs to do, and to continue this growth trajectory, and also, more important, build resilience, make the economy of extroversion. We talk a lot about the dependence on tourism. And also attract foreign investors, that it's key for this. I mean, gross capital formation is been very low. It's the investment gap, it's still about 100 billion compared to other countries. So there is lots of things to be done. So from our point of view, few things that we see crucial for this. RRF is key. We see it as an amazing tool to attract investors. It's a tool that mobilize investors because it combines the European funds with private money through the commercial banks and IFIs. We are also part of a small implementer. We have 4% of the facility. But more important, these are investments and loans that are done on commercial basis. So all the projects that are done are sustainable, are long-term, and for new projects. We've seen Greece has been the front runner for this, 11 billion by August. What we'd like to see now, an acceleration of this, and more important, disbursement of these funds, because I've seen there've been lots of approvals, but the disbursements have not been quite slow. Second, capital markets. This is very important to mobilize investors and also to diversify the funding sources available to Greek companies. We've seen that it can be quite challenging to be dependent on the banking sector. The banking sector now is doing very well, high liquidity. But it's important also to have this capital market as a tool to attract financing, and not only debt financing, but also equity financing, because this is another thing that is needed in Greece. Companies, they need capital in order to grow. After 10 years of crisis, the capital and the leverage of some of the companies is very low. And we've been very supportive of this. We are, again, one of the largest investors on the capital markets in Greece. We invested in bonds and also in equity. And then it's important to continue with the structural reforms, and they've been mentioned this morning. For us, very important is digitalization. Greece has been the front runner, and we can say that probably it's one of the countries that they took the most advantage of the COVID crisis in the acceleration of the digital agenda, with all the digital platform that's been created. This is a good base, but there is still lots of work to be done. There is lots of education required, I think, for the overall population to be able to understand, to have these tools at their disposal and use them that will have an impact on the reduction of tax evasion, also the improvement of the healthcare sector through the digitalization of the records, education, and so on. Reform of the education is very important. As Greece is trying to change the structure of the economy, we have to create jobs and people, we have to prepare people for the future Greece that will require different skills that are now. So this is also, and I understand that it's quite high on the government agenda. And the judicial system, which is also very important. Some progress has been done, but still a lot of work. Greece came down from a very high level of NPL, so 15%. But all these NPLs are still in the economy, and also to attract investors in this type of structure, you need to have a system that is able to clear these non-performing loans.